Hello, everyone. My name is Benjamin Zabierek, and I will be presenting on Irish immigration and identity. I chose this topic because I was inspired by my classmates who had recently presented for their symposium presentation on Irish immigration and Irish culture in the United States. I personally am 25% Irish, and not only did I want to look into my roots, but I also want to look into other people's stories about being Irish American and what their take was on Irish immigration in the 19th century. For my capstone project, I held a series of interviews with my dad, Peter Zabierek, my uncle, Greg Noon, and my family friend, Alice O'Connor, where I asked some questions revolving around the Irish experience in America. However, first, let's dive into some history. In 1845, the Great Famine struck the country of Ireland, causing chaos within the nation. As a result, hundreds of thousands of Irish citizens immigrated to the United States in search for a better life. Today, it is estimated that roughly one-sixth of Americans have some form of Irish background. Now, let's go to the interviews.
So I am half Irish. My grandparents came here from Ireland in the 1910s, and my Irish grandparents landed in Brockton, Massachusetts, and had four children. One of them was my mom, Marilyn Doyle.
The O'Connor family, name and family goes back, thousands of years. So
Mm-hmm.
the early origins of the O'Connor family, goes back to royal bloodline.
We've always been told that it's 100%, that we're 100% Irish, right? I
Mm-hmm.
mean, as a Noon, his mother was a Powers, my mother was a Doyle, her mother was a Kenny, and so you go back and there's Murphys and there's all these Irish names, and I'm guessing we're pretty high percentage Irish. I don't think anybody's 100% of anything,
Mm-hmm.
so I'm sure there's a few other little dribs and drabs in there, but for the most part, we always consider ourselves 100% Irish.
As they came in the mid 1800s through the early 1900s, they were a big part of the labor movement in the United States, and they often took on the jobs that no one else wanted. And so Irish were discriminated against, but the jobs that they did take were usually the toughest ones. So a lot of the canals and bridges and roads that were built in this country for very low wages were built by the Irish.
But a lot of the Irish who came to North America were, essentially were key in building railroads, coal mines, a lot of the infrastructure of the United States, but also, the broad aspects of many areas, whether it is, design, construction, the arts, you name it. There's certainly a lot of famous Irish people that are linked to many aspects of, migration or immigration to the United States.
Massive. I think it's massive on both ends. The Irish were seen as the lowest of the low in Europe, but I think the Irish have acquitted themselves well as Americans, as fighting in the military, representing in politics and in other parts of government. So I think the Irish have had a positive impact on the United States as well. Had a big impact. I mean, we always kind of prided ourselves in being, Irish Catholic kids from Boston, and that kind of gave us a little bit of edge when we were out and mixing with other people from other places, and people knew what that meant. That meant that take crap from anybody. The Irish notoriously are really good at holding grudges for a long time.
Certainly that hardworking, never give up mentality, strive to succeed, honor, pride, taking the risk, all those things that I feel a lot of Irish people are known for, is certainly something I think because of my upbringing in Ireland has had a huge impact on my life.
Well, I grew up in Massachusetts, where there was a very large Irish population, and so I felt very much at home with a lot of Irish families, um, and also I felt very close with my cousins who shared the same lineage, but also drew from other families. But we spent a lot of time eating Irish food, hearing stories about Ireland, and so as I was growing up, it was a great comfort to know that every holiday and vacation that I could spend with people that I shared a common bond with. So that was a lot of fun.
So I think that that's a fascinating aspect, not just, notable Irish Americans that we think of, but also understanding who else came to the United States and had an impact like that and developed industry and really helped, the United States. It's something I would like to know a little bit more about.
I would like to learn more about exactly when my family came over. I mean, the assumption is that we came over around Black 47, around the famine, but we really don't know for sure. We know we come from a big Irish family, big Irish Catholic family, but I'd always love to learn more about the family and where it came from.
I'd like to know what happened that helped the Irish really become more accepted, here in this country, and if there are any models or things that they did that helped them get to where they are today, and maybe help other folks that find themselves in the same place that the Irish did in the mid to late 1800s, when they were marginalized and they weren't offered the same kind of opportunities that most other people were. Well, I think the Irish experience here in this country is one of struggle and resilience. They influenced not only our culture, but also, again, politics and religion as well. And through that, were able to kind of establish themselves as an accepted group here in the United States.
I think one of the most important aspects for anybody, whether Irish American or Irish, is understanding your family history, actually understanding your roots, and also I would say maintaining an understanding of your family tree.
I think it's really important for people to know where they came from before they start talking about, the next group of people that come in. I think people learning where they're from and how they fit into this tapestry that we call the United States, I think is really important for everyone to have an understanding of this topic.